The Shankland saga continues. We're 19 days into the transfer market, and it has been 19 days of non-stop Shankland speculation. Is he leaving Hearts? Is he joining Rangers? Is he joining Celtic? Is he going to England? Well, we have an update, and that update is he has refused the big Hearts bumper contract. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Football. And we have some new news on Shankland and the fact that he has rejected this big contract that Hearts were offering. They wanted to keep him to the club until 2027. They were willing to make him the highest paid player at Hearts in over a decade. But Shankland has turned it down. He's refused the contract, and of course, this will just add fuel to the fire in determining where Shankland will be. Is he refusing it because he wants a better contract for Hearts, or is he refusing it because he intends to be somewhere else come February 1st?
He's also got the battle fever on, as he's been ruled out of Hearts' game against the Spartans at the midday kickoff with an illness. And I think this is simply to prevent himself getting cup-tied. Or are we looking too much into it? I don't know, right? I pretty much ruled out Shankland to Rangers about 12 hours ago. So why have I retracted all this? Because things have sped up. I mean, the fact he's rejected the contract tells you he's probably going to be leaving Hearts, if not this window, next window. And the fact that, I mean, when does Shankland get injured? When does the captain go out with an illness, if we're being real about things? Come on, everything's falling into place. Wasn't he say Rangers do something? Clement basically said earlier Rangers are skint. They're going to make like one more signing probably. That doesn't sound too good. Maybe they're keeping their cards close to their chest. But let's move on for Shankland. We're not going to beat around the bush. We've talked about him so much. If there's more on this, like an actual bid for Rangers, we'll be here. But let's talk about Abdullah Sima, because Rangers are linked with a £12 million deal for him. Are they going to pay that?
Well, you just said they're skint a minute ago, and now they're being linked to a £12 million deal. I'm not buying it.
Footballer insiders talking mince.
£12 million deal, that would equal Rangers' highest transfer record fee of all time.
It would be 8 rising to 12.
And that would be back in an era where they were just spending money that they didn't actually have. Torandre Flo coming to Rangers from Chelsea for around approximately £12 million. Do I see Rangers getting Sima for that amount of money? Absolutely not. Do I think Rangers should try and get the Sima transfer permanent? I do. I think he's been a good addition. He's impressed. He's probably been the only outfield attacking player that has been impressive for Rangers this season. I just don't think they're going to pay that kind of money. What are the options? Could they maybe get another year on loan? Could they try and sign him but for a smaller price? Maybe they could tempt Brighton with some additional fees, add-ons and things like that, potentially, but Rangers actually paying £12 million up front in cash, that's no happening.
It's not mad though how Rangers spent £12 million on a guy in an era where £12 million could get you someone world class and they signed someone fucking pants.
Aye.
I mean, well, Arsenal signed Henry for 12, albeit a couple of years earlier, but I mean, £12 million back in what, 2002? That should be getting you greatness. And
yeah, not many clubs were paying £12 million back then.
Yeah, and Andre Flo just, flowed like shite. Wasn't an absolute disaster, but not exactly spectacular.
Well, I'd say it was a disaster because Rangers spent £12 million. They made him the highest paid player ever, and he couldn't fucking score a single goal. So
well, I look at like Aaron Ramsey, $2 million and cost you a European final. That's a disaster. 400 grand a week. Come on, play the game, son. But let's talk about other teams. It's not just Rangers, of course. Even though this Spfl transfer roundup show has felt like it, Celtic have had to move to another goalkeeper by the name of Hakan Raffin Falder-Marson, but Aston Villa have bid for him. Aston Villa have already got a good goalkeeper in I say good, I mean world-class goalkeeper in Martinez. I do genuinely think that this guy would be for backup. So Kelleher, who Celtic have been linked with, looks like a loan to buy, but here, loan to buy is probably the best thing Celtic can do. It takes another 6 months off his contract, and I think loans is the only thing that really happens in January. You do see other permanent transfers, I'm not saying they don't exist, but even look at the Premier League, like Tottenham signing Ferner on loan. You look at last year, Sabitzer, Weghorst to United. It seems like ever since COVID, loans are the January gimmick, ain't it?
Loans make sense, especially loans to buy. It's pretty much like a try before you buy.
Aye. Like Rangers with Ramsey and Diallo, both loans. James Sands was a loan in that window. I think loans are the smartest move. Like, I mean, like Rangers getting Sima and Fabio Silva and Tillman. It's players that just can't really afford on it. Well, absolutely can't afford Fabio Silva. I mean, you can talk about 8 million for Sima, 6 for Tillman, whatever.
But that's big money for Rangers. Maybe if Rangers maybe got a loan with Dessers first and a loan with Danilo, they could have found that here these players aren't worth shit and decide not to get them. But it depends on their current status at the club. Some clubs will not be willing to let players leave on loan. But I think if you've got the option of signing an out of favour player on loan with the option to buy, then it definitely makes sense, because otherwise you could find yourself paying 8 million or whatever up front and you end up signing a dud. So yeah, Rangers. Yep, Andy Halliday finds himself out the door at Hearts, also out of favour this season, only playing a handful of games. I can't say it's a surprising decision. I think it's good for Andy Halliday because he wants to be playing football. He doesn't want to be sitting on the bench and barely getting any time, and that's been the sad case from this year at Hearts. But overall, I think he's been a pretty good squad player, and I am surprised that he hasn't featured more this season. Then you look at Alex Lowry's loan deal being cancelled. I mean, could there be a possibility that if Halliday stayed, he would get more game time? I mean, maybe, but it's not like Alex Lowry was getting that much game time either, to be honest. Like, if these players are just sitting on the bench, then maybe it's better that they go out. And speaking of loan to buys, this is also a loan to buy. Doesn't necessarily mean that Andy Halliday will sign permanently with Motherwell at the end of the season. I would be open to bringing him back, of course. So I don't think this is necessarily a good buy forever, but it's definitely a good buy for now. And I hope Andy Halliday goes on and has a good season at Motherwell in the second half. But who knows? Motherwell's struggling right now. They could possibly find themselves in the Championship next season as well, and I'm pretty sure that would rule out any sort of permanent move for Andy Halliday. So we'll just have to wait and see. But I understand that he's not getting the game time. It makes sense.
I think Motherwell have recruited well. They've got Adam Montgomery as well. A few more signings on the inbound list. I think Motherwell stay up quite easily. I look at Livingston, they're down. I look at Ross County. I think Ross County's got 11 written over them. And Derek Adams, though, he's going to League Two. He wants to sign Shrewsbury Town forward Tom Bloxham. Is the League Two experiment going to work for him, though? I mean, if
well, according to him, he can bring in one player for League Two, and it should make Ross County title challengers, because League Two is 100 times better than the Scottish Premiership. So let's see if Derek Adams' words were correct, or we'll find out if he was talking pish. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this week's.
This day's. Ryan Gold, let's just capitalise on this here. He says he's deleted social media apps because of hurtful criticism. Thoughts on that?
Absolute fucking lefty.
Anyway, till
Doesn't
next.
deserve a call up for Scotland.
Au revoir.